What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap-Up. Uysa!
Am I good?
We're good. We are live. Welcome, welcome. It is Saturday. It's the Ranger Wrap Up. I'm joined today by the whole crew. I got Daniel. Go ahead. Do it. Hit it.
Holla at your boy, it's me, that's right, the BSG, Battlestar Galactica, a.k.a. the Purveyor of Petty, a.k.a. the Intergalactic Instigator. And also, of course, that means if I'm here, you're here.
Yep.
We got the whole crew.
We got our
There's
fearless
one more
leader,
left.
Joe.
Brighten myself up here a little bit. There we go. Got a little ring light action going on. Brighten up the day. How you guys doing? It's a beautiful Saturday here in Southern California. And thank you for joining us wherever you may be joining us from. We already got Kawaku in here from New Jersey. We got Robert here watching from Texas. I know the Blur's in here, one of our writers, Jared Hodges, Isaiah Rodriguez, Edward Sanchez, also another Texas guy. Welcome so much to the Ranger Wrap-Up. We got so much to talk about today.
Yeah.
We had our American finale of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Boom Studios comic book. We got another wave of Lightning Collection figures officially announced. And last but not least, we're going to be talking to the cast of Power Rangers Beast Morphers and executive producer Simon Bennett. So it's all going to be happening right here on the Ranger Wrap-Up. We have a lot to get through in the next hour. So let's just get right into it. The finale just aired a few hours ago for both coasts on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
One of the better finales we've had in a long time. Daniel, when you watched this Power Rangers Beast Morphers season finale, what were some of your first initial thoughts? And did it harken any images of past seasons? How do they stack up to past seasons that we've seen in the past? I've said the past a lot there.
When you're asking that question, that means that really what I'm going to have to do is dissect the entire season, because finales usually get into a whole thing where you're remembering a lot of what's happened in the season. Then after that, you start to mirror what's happening with other portions, or, oh, this reminded me of this reminded me of that. Honestly, trying to just keep it very self-contained would be the best way to really review it at this moment. Steel. I mean... Come on, man. They were pulling on heartstrings when it came to Steel, and I loved it. I loved it, man. I mean, here he came, sacrificing himself, stopped trying to be the ultimate hero, and by doing so, he became the ultimate hero. He was the guy, you know? He went over there and took that dart and stabbed him in the back, sacrificing himself. But with that, even though he did kind of, disappear or die, we got a reward in the end. So I love that. That's the part that's going to stick out to me for a very long time. Of course, the Rangers all becoming demorphed is something that you pretty much see in every finale. So that just harkened back to everything that we've seen before. Then the 1 year later portion is something that doesn't happen in every season finale or series finale. So it kind of makes us remember what we've seen from other ones before in that way, but only a few. So really, I'm not against this season or series finale. I liked it. I'm hearing some negative talk about it, but I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Jezzer, how did this finale stack up to you opposed to other finales we've had in the past, especially more recently in the Neo Saban era?
Within the Neo Saban era, I think it's one of the top finales. I remember I'm going back thinking about like Dino Supercharge, where it's just kind of like, and then like Ninja Steel was just, what the hell was that like? Just going backwards. I wasn't really excited about it, but I mean this one. Yeah, like I didn't like certain things that they did, like making the Red Ranger the new commander, and not handing off his Red Ranger to anybody else, or little things like that, and then just having the original commander and her son, the Blue Ranger, just kind of like ride off into the distance and kind of do their own thing. But I mean, all in all, like compared to the other ones, it was for Neo Saban, it was probably one of the best.
Yeah, sorry about that. It was great, not only for the Neo Saban era, but I think a great finale in general. There's only been I feel like every time I talk, I go dark, like my camera
That's
goes
weird,
darker,
yeah.
right? It's weird.
We do got a super
It is
chat
weird.
though.
But yeah, let's get to that. We got the Blur talking. He says, "Did the Zord battle come from the Ghostbuster movie? Did it come
From the Go Buster.
I don't
From the
know.
Oh, Go Buster movie. Sorry,
I was
Ghostbuster.
like, what?
Ghostbusters, same thing.
No, not even at all.
Yeah, that would be funny
Why
though.
is my lighting so dark here? I don't get it. I don't
I
understand.
don't know. That's weird.
Hold
It's
on. I'm
Iris-
gonna
Iris
watch. I'm
camera.
gonna move.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna do something. Robert Amaya says, kind of wish Blaze and Roxy worked at Grid Battle Force. Yeah, I mean, like, and you know, them just kind of like not being a part of it after them coming back is a little weird.
Was like, for me, I'm thinking, okay, well, they're back. They still have some training as far as like tactically, and also just, literally when it comes to fighting, they should still be there to probably work with training other people that are there. Like Grid Battle Force isn't just the Rangers, isn't it? Like there's a whole, like, is there an army or anything like that? Or
Yeah,
what?
it's
Task
it's
Force.
established as one of our first kind of like Ranger schools is what I can
Okay, so
imagine it to be.
then
But here's the
definitely,
thing: in the 1 year later, the biggest problem I have with the 1 year later is I don't think Devin would still be the Red Ranger. I think
Yep.
he would have passed on his power since he's the commander now to Blaze, who kind of had that full turnaround from that very first episode. I think that's
Exactly.
the biggest missed opportunity of the whole thing.
That is true.
I agree. But and honestly, there is no but. There's no but. Definitely, that was something that I thought of. You thought of. I mean, if we all thought about it in unison, then clearly it's something that a lot of other fans thought of as well. And I think that we did deserve that. I think it would have been a great turnaround for his character as well.
Can we
giving everyone awards.
Can we give props to Hasbro on keeping the human form of Steel a secret? I mean, not now, but I mean back when it released in UK. No one knew. No.
Yeah, seriously, I think that was a great little touch. I like that. I thought that story came full circle. Again, my biggest complaint is I wish there was more use of Ravi. Is that his name? That's the one thing that I think was really, really missing in this season. I felt like he didn't have much to do.
It was more of a Nate Power Ranger season than anything. He kind of outshined everybody else as far as his character development. I think that's what we took away from this whole series.
So let's move on. We talked about Beast Morphers as a whole. Beast Morphers was a pretty good season. Where does it rank up in terms of seasons for you guys, though, as a whole?
Ooh.
Dang.
I would say top 10.
We're going to put that question next to the chat, too. Jesser says top 10. Daniel?
I agree. Top 10. Definitely.
I'm also going to have to say top 10. I think that a really strong season. I think it's a great showing that Hasbro is investing into the future of the franchise and also paying respects to the older seasons. As Jesser said earlier, maybe not in this episode, but at least on text to me, that this season really did feel like a love letter to a lot of the fans. So
That's right.
there we go. Power Rangers Beast Morphers, solid season, solid couple of seasons. Let's move on to the Boom Studios comic. Issue 2 of Mighty Morphin came out. Now,
Okay.
just summarize this very quickly because it's a pretty short and easy issue. Zordon is on pretty much he wants to bring the Omega Rangers back in because they defied him directly, and Tommy's on Zordon's side. And it seems like there's a split there where it seems like Kimberly and Billy are defending their actions a little bit more.
Yeah.
Aisha's kind of on Tommy's side, and the other two are kind of in the middle. There's also this subplot going on with Candace's character because Skull is kind of training because she thinks it's something, or he thinks that something's going on with Candace, something doesn't seem right. He catches Candace and Rocky in an awkward situation, and we get these new putties that Finster created, and these new putties are pretty dominant. And in the course of the show, what happens with these putties is they attack this kind of music festival that's going to happen. And these putties seem unstoppable, and they come from, it seems like, the chaos energy, the green chaos energy.
That's right.
And then later to save the day is the Green Ranger. But he also gets taken out by these putties, and it seems like a trap where this music festival isn't really a music festival. It was just a trap to lure the Rangers in to attack them with these ultimate putties. Overall, I thought the issue was great, but it still leaves it ambiguous. We don't have an answer to who that Green Ranger is yet. I'm sure if you want to find out that answer, it's out there, but we're not talking about it yet.
But I gotta say, what's interesting about this issue is the way Zordon is pretty much saying, like, it's pretty much all out war. I want them here. I want them stripped of their powers, and I want what's his name back in jail.
Draken.
And Draken. I want Draken back in jail. And it's like, yo, I mean, he's really going for it. And it's like there's no, you can clearly tell there's no love lost. He's done with them. And he's like, it's complete defiance. I can't believe they would do this. And it's just, it sounds kind of different from what we've heard Zordon ever say before. And it sounds a lot like it's just, he's operating in this kind of fog of anger. And I've never seen Zordon this upset. And then with him saying like, oh, you know, and then they went ahead and attacked Alpha, and then they did this and did that, and it was like, well, slow down. Like, you clearly saw what happened in the video. It wasn't them. It was Draken who kind of like knocked down Alpha while they were on their way out. Like, calm down. But he's like painting them in this horrible negative picture, and I'm just wondering, is something happening with Zordon right now? I mean, I know we keep going to other people on Altar and everything like that, but I'm wondering, is something happening with Zordon, or if that is even Zordon?
Well, something is definitely happening with Zordon. He's stuck in a tube. His head is stuck in a tube. Something is definitely happening there. But the flashbacks that you're referring to, those are flashbacks from the past, because that's Zordon's team head.
Those are flashbacks in the past, but then we're also dealing with what's her name, who's
Candace.
Yeah, she's talking about, you know, save Altar and blah blah blah. So it's like we're dealing with what's happening over there in Altar, and it's coming back to us right now. So I don't know if there's something that we're gonna see even more of that kind of explains this whole kind of character swap for Zordon.
Yeah. Well, the comics still seem really intriguing. Ryan Parrott's doing a great job and knocking them out of the park. Mighty Morphin, it so far has been pretty good and pretty intriguing. I think it's that mystery. It is so weird. Every time I talk that my camera goes dark. The mystery of the Green Ranger is among us, and hopefully we get that solved very, very soon. Now, let's move on to some Lightning collection.
Yeah, Wave 8.
We know that you're a big collector of these action figures. We have Wave 8 that's been officially announced. Green Zeo Ranger Adam Park is leading the charge, along with Ethan from Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
Yep.
Sid from Power Rangers SPD will also be included in this new wave of figures. And last but not least is who, Jezzer?
Leo from Lost Galaxy.
Leo.
Which I am pissed off about because it's like a re-released figure, but they add something that makes it that I'm like, oh god, like they add that cannon blaster, which makes it so much cooler. But I don't know if that justifies, paying another $20 for another figure. But I mean, they do look amazing, but still, fucking sucks. Fucking sucks.
That's what I said. I remember when they released it, and I said, so many people are going to be upset when they re-release the toy on its own. And I remember asking, should I even buy it or should I just wait?
I don't know, man.
And,
we got another super chat. It says, "Shaken, not stirred." Nice martini. Thank you so much. Stephanie made this for me.
Yeah, I mean, I do like all the head molds of all the figures. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that Leo figure, but the wave is great. Getting closer to finishing more teams. We almost close to finishing Zeo, almost close to finishing Dino Thunder, and
but also, correct me if I'm wrong. That's a different Leo head sculpt. It
is a different Leo head sculpt. So, I mean, you could play it off like it's a Mike head sculpt. I don't know.
Here, let me ask you this: would you have been? Man, these stupid. I'm just going to take off these glasses. I think that's what's causing the problem. Actually, if I pop these lenses out, I'm just kidding. Would you guys have rather have seen with the Leo figure, would you have bought it if it was the wrecked helmet from the finale of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy?
Yeah, I would have bought it if it was a wrecked helmet.
Oh, that would have been dope.
Battle damage helmet where it's part of his face showing in that helmet.
You know what's crazy is like when I display these figures, I don't put the civilian heads on, so I don't.
I do.
Yeah, I don't like. So I mean, it's just I don't have any space in there to just have like separate helmets, lying around. So, but
well, let's talk about figures one by one because that Adam figure, the head sculpt looks really good.
It does.
I know that a lot of people have been complaining about Ethan. I think it looks fine.
I don't understand what they're complaining about.
There's been a lot of like mixed reactions about Sid's figure from SPD. I know that a lot of people were complaining about them using two different right hands, I believe, for like the figure pose.
That might just be like promotional art being wrong, but I don't know. It's they all look amazing, like honestly, and you know that they're playing it safe with like going with figures that they know are gonna sell well, but
right.
Like teams that they know are going to sell well. So I highly doubt we're going to get in the near future like an Overdrive team or a Jungle Fury team. I think I think we're see a dog there. I think we're going to stick with like fan favorites just to justify, mass producing all these figures.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of us getting SPD figures. Like there's so many members of that team, so it's cool. I want to see more Boom figures, though.
Yeah. Hey, what if we get the new Green Ranger? We'll see. Maybe.
Or we've gotten 2 more dragons, so we're solid there. But like, I think that I would love to see like the Solar Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Omega Rangers obviously would be great for the picking. But
Dark Rangers.
A lot of people are complaining about some of these small paint mistakes, and I get it. I completely understand it. I know that Sid's helmet is missing the white outline on the top of her visor.
Oh, no.
I know that there's problems, there's issues that a lot of people have been having with Ethan's figure. The gun might not have like a gold tip on it. Like there's little things that obviously they're missing. Here's the thing though, with these figures, I think with the way that Hasbro kind of has their lines, you don't see as many problems with the Marvel Legends and the Star Wars figures, but it's only a matter of time until the sales just peak up a little bit more on Power Rangers for us to get that quality. And also, it keeps, it keeps Hasbro honest. So, let them know your problems, and it keeps them honest, and hopefully we keep getting.
Hey, at least we know they're gonna fix the issue like they did with the White Dino Thunder one. So, I mean, if enough people complain, I'm sure they'll fix any major issues that they find.
Well, my question is, did anyone ever experience these issues with the Marvel line, with the Star Wars lines, when they first came out and people had to complain and then they were made to be kept honest and do it right? Or is it just something they're just like, Power Rangers fans, we'll fix it when it comes time? Like, what's the deal there?
I don't know. I don't actually remember following the toy world when the Marvel Legends came out, or the Black Series for Star Wars. I don't think Black Series for Star Wars had any issues.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, the Black Series, I remember just hearing about it, and it was just like, yeah, this is what you'd want if you're a collector, because they really are meticulously taking care of each figure.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we hear the Lightning Collection, which is pretty much the Rangers Black, the Black Collection. So
Black
you're thinking,
Series.
okay, the Black Series. So you're thinking, okay,
Legends.
that's exactly, I forgot what it is.
Marvel Legends, Black Series, Star Wars. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking, why would you give so much attention to these, which I understand they definitely are money makers, but if you're not really giving as much to Power Rangers, you can't sit there and then say, oh, well, I'm expecting the fans to just, continue to buy, and as they do, I'll make the changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one's going to want to buy if, hey, all I know is that you're going to mess up on this, you're going to mess up on that, you're going to mess up on this. I don't want it.
Yeah. We had a super chat early on from the Blurry says, I would have had this Leo come with Lights of Orion. Yeah, I mean that would have been cool.
That'd been a good one.
That would have been cool.
Man.
I actually
let's do this. Why don't we? I'll let you finish that thought in just one second, Jezzer. But this next little segment right here will be all of your questions. So anybody in the chat, if you guys are watching, ask us your questions and we will answer them. But Jezra, finish your thought.
When I lived in Japan, around the time, so when I lived in Japan, it was Power Rangers in Space that was out in Super Sentai, and I left when Lightspeed Rescue came out, and when Lost Galaxy was on, which was Gingamon, I bought the Megazord, and they had a separate like accessories pack for the Lights of Orion type thing. So I don't know if you remember Lost Galaxy when they activated the Lights of Orion. This the Megazord also had like an attachment that showed up on there, and it came with like the attachment for the Megazord and all the figures. It would be nice for Hasbro to have accessory packs. I mean, one major concern that people have been having with this new line that they're pretty pissed off about is, if you remember, the Zeo Ranger 5 had his personal weapon, and now Adam has his personal axes or tonfas. And when Rocky came out, he didn't have it. So people are wondering if is there a way for them to have Rocky have his specialized weapons.
Who knows? Oof, what's it knows? Let's take some of these questions. There's only a couple of them here, but we got Kamen Rider 64 says, you guys want to see another adaptation of Kamen Rider? Daniel?
No. I'm actually pretty good right now at seeing another adaptation of Kamen Rider. Just being honest. It's not something I would really look forward to.
I like the way that they are doing it in Japan, and I think that if America got their hands on it, they'd taint it a little bit.
Very much.
The Blur asks, this one for you, Jezzer. What is the meaning of life?
What is the meaning of life? You wake up, you work, provide, contribute, and then die. That's it.
Sia Games asks, if you could give a premiere date for Dino Fury, what date would you give it?
I thought we got one already. Didn't we get one?
Well, if you could give it, speculation type of thing.
Oh.
If you want to speculate, I don't know.
End of February.
Okay, Daniel?
I agree. End of February, after a lot of other things have been going on, especially in the U.S., that makes sense. They've already got 8 episodes in the can. I found that out through a particular interview. Wink. So I would definitely think end of February would make sense.
End of February. I'm also going to share that sentiment. Let's see. Robert Amaya says, what are your current thoughts on Kira Major, Jezzer?
I haven't seen the series, but the look of it, I'm not really a big fan of. The whole, I don't really like the whole aesthetic of it. It looks kind of.
Oh, you're crazy. I think the aesthetic looks really cool. I think it looks cool.
Really?
I don't know.
I think that new Super Sentai that's on the horizon sounds terrible, but who knows?
Oh, the one that's shooting
my
right now?
expectation.
Yeah.
It's essentially like Transformers. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
Dang it, I can't say that word anymore because we got flagged last time because we're not suitable for all advertisers. Let's see. Daniel, has your expectations for the premiere of Dino Fury raised or lowered?
Actually, they've been raised. The way they're trying to provide information to us, so this way it's like we're not just floating around aimlessly. I'm loving that. They are giving out interviews, people are talking, and at least trying to give us more information about the show. Not about everything else that we've been discussing, but the show itself. And I love that. So I'm really excited for it.
Noah Cummings. Oh, there you go. Daniel just died.
Yeah.
Noah Cummings asked, do you think Dino Fury is going to have a team up in season 1 or season 2? I'll take that answer, that question. So there's a little bit of an interview here with Simon Bennett a little bit later on. He pretty much describes that team ups are a lot harder to do now because of COVID. They essentially, it's harder for them to justify bringing actors out here out to New Zealand for like 2 days, for shooting for 2 days, for them to quarantine for 2 weeks. Fiscally, it just doesn't make sense. Kamen Rider 64 says, you think Masked Rider could have been better if it was more action show instead of a comedy and a sitcom? I do. I actually think Kamen Rider could absolutely still work in the United States if done correctly. Here's the thing there. Storytelling in the United States is a lot different than storytelling in Japan. Matter of fact, that even translates to sports, pro wrestling, superheroes, media in general. It's just a different structure out there. So things that essentially work out there, we're a lot harder to. They don't necessarily work here in the United States. Things that work here in the United States aren't necessarily as over out there, or they have to adapt them in a different way. By the way, there's a great documentary on Disney Plus called Marvel 616. Go check it out. The first episode is all about the Tokusatsu Spider-Man and how Marvel didn't think Spider-Man could work in Japan. That actually is going to essentially answer your question in a nutshell. But that's it. We're good for we're good for taking those questions. Now, Jezzer, what are we talking about?
So we have the Lightning Collection, but we also have they released new toys, new licensed toys for Power Rangers.
Oh yeah,
and they look amazing. I don't know,
like Hot Toys.
They're kind of like they're the version of Hot Toys for Power Rangers, which is pretty cool.
Well, I think we have. Is it the Ace toys you're talking about?
The 01 toys or something. Zero something.
Yeah.
So you know that those people that made the Ace figures, which were phenomenal, by the way, that they must have not gotten a license for this, and they must have been working on the inside. This is an interesting move, but they do look good.
Yeah, it looks like it pretty much. They have like cloth on top of their little molds and stuff. I think they look cool.
Yeah, actual material. That's dope, man.
But
like
do we have
material?
head?
Say what?
Like face sculpts? Do we have head sculpts, like face sculpts of the actors?
Not that I can see. No.
Man.
No, not that I can see.
So it's going to be the suited up version of the Rangers.
Yep. And also they have a new.
They look good. Look good.
Look at them. God, they look.
Yeah,
great.
they also have a new Zeo Megazord one that they released. I remember a few months ago they had a Thunderzord one, but now they have a Zeo Megazord one, which looks just as cool with a ton of attachments.
Wait a minute, Jezzer, you got that backwards. They're releasing the Zeo. The Zord's already out.
No.
The Thunder Megazord isn't out yet.
No. They're doing so. The Zeo Megazord's out, yes, but there's a Hasbro one that is fully articulated, with detailed helmets and like swords and attachments. Is kind of like the Hot Toys version. It doesn't like separate, but it's just a Megazord, detachable wings.
See, this is
huh?
I like the idea of doing these Megazords like Hot Toys because it makes more sense.
Yeah.
To me.
It's cool. It's really cool, and props to them. Props to them for working with Hasbro and getting some separate licenses for those. One thing that I did want to talk about, and me and Daniel have been talking about it lately.
Oh boy.
There was a video that came out through a toy website that they were trying to justify scalpers. And I thought it was funny. I thought, honestly, the comment section was funny. Daniel, what's your take on scalpers, and what's your interpretation of a scalper?
All right, my interpretation of a scalper, it's pretty much almost as relative to drop culture in streetwear or shoes, which still counts as streetwear, where it's like, okay, a company releases a limited amount. By releasing that limited amount, they know that people are trying to purchase as much as possible. You're going to sell out of that. Then once you sell out of that, here comes all the people who purchased. And the first thing they're looking to do is resale. Now, with the resale, the way it happens, it can kind of create a secondary market where other people now that have purchased are now doing the resales, which means they get to name the price. And by allowing them to rename or name the price, it's open season, man. I mean, the prices can go from, okay, hey, it's $20 retail. When somebody resells, you're automatically going to go up by probably 15%, sometimes even 20%. They say, forget that. And they're like, all right, we're going up by 50%, sometimes even 60%. And it's just like, these people are, in my opinion, taking advantage of, this situation. Now, after us going back and forth about it, I have been enlightened. And I got to say, I can't really blame them.
Who do you think is to blame, though?
It's the manufacturers.
The manufacturers.
The distributors, the people making it. By doing this and giving out this limited amount, I mean, you're the ones that are pretty much encouraging that secondary market. So it's making it hard for the people that are fair weather fans.
Yeah.
They're not collectors. These people aren't able to purchase it. But it's kind of like you get into a whole thing, which we talked about, where you were like, well, then go out and buy it the first day.
Yeah.
Don't sit here. You know, and it's like, yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean,
but then again, sometimes they're kids. Hey, I don't have a license. I don't have a car. I can't get out there and buy it the first day. So I've got to wait until like mom or dad are ready and say, all right, here we go. 2 weeks after it's out, let's go to Toys R Us or blah, blah, whatever. And it's like, well, now it's gone.
I think the issue is with toys is they're not on, like, you don't, a lot of people say they don't want that sneakerhead mentality, but they're not, which they're not. That's why there lies the issue. With the sneakerhead mentality, they've developed a system within that for people to line up and buy stuff, and, you know, a controlled system where they can do it. I mean, yes, the chances of you getting these shoes are still hard, but it all lies with the manufacturer. They know what it's worth. They know what it is. If you flood the market with a ton of these things, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is the value is just going to go down, and it's not, people aren't going to have that same demand for it. So with toys and with the stuff that I was seeing on the thing, especially when it comes to exclusives, you guys know when we go to cons and stuff like that, and it's a con exclusive. The reason why people want it so bad is because it's such a limited run, and because you have to go to the convention to get it. One of the ones that I actively collect, and you guys know this, is the Ninja Turtle NECA collection, which is hard to get, especially if it's a con exclusive. Every year at Comic-Con, I'd go and just line up and stuff, and they'd have a set just put aside for each day so that they don't run out. But I understand it. Like, I totally understand it. And if the manufacturer is not putting a limit, like a one per customer limit, that's on them, not on the actual buyer. If you're able to buy multiple figures, what you do with those figures after the fact is your own thing. I guess it's your own thing. Like, it does.
Yeah, you did your initial purchase.
It does piss me off, like, you know, when I think about, like, the consoles and stuff. But the only reason why I feel like the consoles are different is the introduction of automated buying, like the bots, where the bots are in control of, as soon as the actual drop happens on the website, they're able to put in their cart and purchase it right away. That's what my interpretation of a scalper is. Not if an actual human says, all right, well, I know that, you know, there's going to be a high demand for this. I'm going to buy like 3 of these, and then one for me, one for my collection, one to play with, and maybe one I'll sell and see how it goes, and make back the money that I paid for all 3. I don't see any issue with it. I know a lot of people get mad about the fact, but I do that all the time. Like Joe knows I do that all the time. I'll buy, like, if I know that the figure is going to be the short, what do you call it when it's the only one in the case, where
like a short pack.
The short pack.
I think it's short pack or
and
whatever.
I know people are going to want it. It's basic.
Or it's the chase figure.
It's basic capitalism. I mean, you have something that someone wants. How much are you willing to pay to get it? I don't gouge. I don't price gouge. I'll do maybe double, just so I get my money back, and then get a little bit of profit. But it's just common sense. Joe, what's your take on this whole thing?
My take on this is, I think that people out there that are saying that don't shame scalpers, you're crooks. I was called a crook earlier by said person, and hey, in all honesty, I think in this particular situation, a person that's so heavily relying on a fandom to support, relying on a fandom because he has access to getting those things through the source of the company, I think essentially you're a crook. I have no qualms about saying this, because look, in the video that was put out where we recalled the same things by said person, it was because this person has so close ties with the people running the show that he was calling us crooks for misinformation, which wasn't Obviously, clearly not the case now, as we just spoke with the executive producer, the showrunner of Power Rangers. With that being said, without doing their due diligence, I think that them calling us crooks, I think it's kind of ironic, because here we are now in a situation where you base your livelihood and the biggest profit margin of your year on these fans, and then you prey on them. And you prey on them because you have access to things that they necessarily don't. To me, that is a simple misstep in supply and demand, mainly because he's getting the supply, but he controls the demand. And that's a bigger problem with the situation. Now, I have no problem with people reselling items, but when you're getting it straight from distributors and you're getting it from market value price and expect to sell them at retail prices, and you're not selling them at retail prices, essentially, you're a crook.
There you go.
There's no So,
that's
fire,
true.
you say it all you want. I have no problems with that. And hey, just like I was told, I'm going to call it like I see it. And those practices, hey, and here's another thing. Are you paying taxes on that is another situation that we find ourselves in. So, and I'm sure that they are, because it's an LLC, it's a business. But with that being said, when you're controlling the actual...
If he's getting wholesale, he's not.
When you're controlling the actual, and this is, hey, just like they wanted to speculate on our story, I'm speculating a lot of this here too. But when you're literally controlling the supply and the demand for it, there's a bigger issue there. Matter of fact, there's a great movie to watch during this holiday season that touches on this a little bit. It's called what was it called?
Jingle All the Way.
No, Jingle Jangle and Jingle All the Way. Yes, but watch it. Go check it out. This is exactly what price scalpers are. And this honestly is what turns a lot of fans off from wanting to go out there and buy stuff in their local stores, which a lot of people have problems with. How come Target isn't getting any of these exclusives? How come it's only these smaller stores? Well, you know why? It's because there's not enough sales on the toy shelf, and there's literally not enough people purchasing at those toy stores because they're being taken by crooks.
Yep.
And I just can't reiterate that
despite
enough.
what the video said. They said, oh yeah, people are out there buying toys. No, they're not fucking buying toys during quarantine. No one's like,
and especially especially during a pandemic, to take advantage. Look, there's a dude that went around and bought like 50,000 hand sanitizers and got stuck with it because it was illegal. The government shut him down. I mean, obviously this isn't on that scale, but when we're in a pandemic, these people aren't out there. They're worried more so about their safety. So when you're preying on people on taking advantage of that, that's a bigger issue. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I doing what's good for the fandom, which I usually run my business on? Because I tell you what, for as much as anybody wants to talk about any misinformation or anything that they misconstrue from the Illuminerdi, I can sit there and look at myself and say, I'm doing the best I can for my fans. I'm not trying to dick them out of anything. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, and if anybody wants to have any comments on like the whole situation, like with scalpers and people buying stuff, leave it in the comments. I would love to have conversations with some of the fans.
Yeah,
I was just surprised by the comments on the video. Some of them had some good points, but some of them lacked the common sense to understand. Like, they just lacked common sense, and I thought it was really funny. I'm seeing it from both sides, because like right now I'm currently trying to cop a PS5, and the way that the system goes, the people I blame for the whole release, the shitty release, was the retailers. Walmart, Target, all of them shit the bed on it. Right after they made the announcement, they said, oh, it's going to be going live tomorrow, but they jumped the gun and they sent it, they put it live that day, that second. So
look, I don't think my problem isn't it's Scott Zillner. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's Scott Zillner. He put a video out on Toy Wizard. It is what it is. But let's be honest about it. And I don't want to sugarcoat this. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, well, you know what? Hey, listen, if he wants to go ahead and resell toys at a higher marked up price and people are willing to buy it, more power to him. But with that being said, if he's going to be like, well, don't shame scalpers, people can do whatever they want. It's a scalper. It's literally, it's being a crook. I mean, do what you want to do, but also understand that people are going to say what they're going to say because it comes with the territory. just like when we put ourselves out there and we break news, we know what we're getting ourselves into. We know what's going on. With that being said, we're still doing it accurately. That's fine.
Yep.
But so we know what we're getting ourselves into. So if you know what you're getting yourself into, you know what? Take it on the chin. Deal with it. You know? It is what it is.
Yep. I mean, if people want to like destroy or eliminate this type of practice, don't buy off eBay. Don't buy from those people that are price gouging. That kills it. That right there kills it. The fact that people are buying the triple or double the price of what the market value is, that's the issue right there. You guys have the power. You guys have control. Just like with toy sales, you guys have control what gets made, or how many a manufacturer buys, or how many a store buys. Target's not gonna buy a ton of stock if they're just gonna be hanging around. At the end of the day, they're just trying to make money. So if you're complaining like, oh, they don't have enough toys on the shelves, that's Target's fault, or that's actually your fault, because you're not buying it consistently. Target's not seeing the traction, the velocity codes as far as how much stuff is moving. At the end of the day, the people that are buying this stuff, they don't know the true demand of people really want this Tommy figure. I probably need to order a few cases of it. No, they have so many things in the store that they have to keep track of that's $20 versus them like, oh, we need to get a bunch of PS5s in here. We need to get a bunch of cameras or computers in here, because they know that's the high price selling items that are going to move more. They're not keeping their ears to the ground, knowing, oh, this specific toy is going to sell a lot, so I'm going to bring in a lot. No. All they see is numbers. So if you guys aren't buying the figures, that's the information they need to justify how much stuff they actually order from Hasbro.
Well, let me ask you, as a fan, let's say this is night 0 of Comic-Con and there's no limit on how many you can buy. Obviously, that's a distribution problem. With that also being said, if somebody buys all of them and then upcharges 300 times what it's worth, then what do you then as a fan, how do you feel?
You know what, that's on the person that sold it. Like, that's on the person that didn't put a limit on it. That's their problem. That's their issue. The person that took advantage.
But you don't hold any ill regard towards the person that isn't being fair and saying, hey, I want to make more money off this fan base because I present things that are official and I have this close tie to a fan base. So you don't think that's a little unfair?
Well, if it's just a regular fan, like if it's just a regular single person.
No, if it's somebody that has ties to the franchise and has the ability to get these things, you don't think that's a little unfair?
Because that's borderline insider trading, kind of. That's an insider.
Well, essentially, isn't that what we're kind of talking about?
Well,
that's what I was going to say. Honestly, Joe, you hit it right on the head. When someone has like a direct connection to manufacturing and distribution, and they're able to release something that's exclusive, and then after that, they're like, the price usually would be this, but immediately it's this much instead, like much higher. Clearly, there's no other answer but yes, blame that person. They went ahead and literally controlled the supply, the demand, and they are the secondary market. But the thing is, it's only them that is the secondary market. That makes no sense. It's almost like running a monopoly. Here you are as the person getting it from the manufacturer. They're supposed to have an MPR, manufactured suggested price or whatever. But you are the only person that owns these items. So you are able to control the price because now you control the supply and the demand. So you're going to raise the price up. And with that being the case, it's like, well, you're not doing this for the fans anymore. And that's clear. That's evident.
I think.
Well, here's a great point about that. Go ahead, Jezzer.
I think when the person has a direct tie to the manufacturer, and that's when certain things come into play. But majority of the time, when these people are selling stuff on eBay, they're just separate individuals. They have nothing to do with the actual company. They're buyers first.
Right.
Okay, hold on.
Right. You're completely right. Majority of the time, but we're not talking about majority of the time. We're talking about someone very specifically that put out a YouTube video saying "Don't shame scalpers," and this is a great comment from the Cosmic Ranger.
Okay, there you go. I was just going to say it. Go ahead.
And probably scalped them himself, screwing over thousands of fans. Listen, the one thing I do know about Power Morphicon 2018. Was it 2018? It was 2018. Is that the Lord Draken figures there? A lot of fans did not get them, and they got them. They weren't happy.
Hey, I'm gonna be truthful. I was able to buy 3.
Sure. Because you were there, but like imagine the people that weren't there and that didn't get their product. There's a lot of people that didn't show up that just wanted that exclusive figure and that never got it.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
What had happened is they oversold because they didn't put aside the reserves that people have had. So they sold their They literally stole their product and sold it to somebody else, and essentially made double because one person paid for it, the other person reserved it. Yeah, that was a shit show.
Yeah, so we can't necessarily blame the manufacturer for that one.
No,
that was definitely a situation like Daniel stated. It was more so of like an insider trading type of deal. You get the capital to get the money, to raise the money for the figure, to make it exclusive, and then there you go, you resell it, and then you make your money back, and then some. To me, like Daniel had said, that is like insider trading.
It's a monopoly. You're running things in a way where, once again, you're controlling everything. You're controlling, like I said, how it's being manufactured, the number in which it's being done. So that's your supply, that's your demand. Like you said, they already raised the capital to be able to take care of the supply and the demand. So then after that, what do? They create their own secondary market. You can only get it from them. It's that whole exclusivity thing. And then you oversell. And that makes no sense. But when they did oversell, they refunded people. Am I right?
They offered them the throne in lieu of the figure, which was stupid. Like it was so.
Which is dumb. Essentially, you don't have a figure to put on the throne,
Yeah.
So it makes no sense.
They shit the bed with that release. That was a really.
So here's the deal, and this is my problem with that. I love when, and this is like I said before, I feel a sense of vindication here, but like, and this is, I'm making this about us, and I shouldn't be because I'm talking from my heart. But like to call us crooks when you're literally doing criminal activity is hilarious to me. But it is what it is, man. If to me, at the end of the day, if you know they did not refund, as what Cosmic Ranger said, I feel like this is somebody that got shafted in that deal to begin with. But here's the deal: if you don't like the scalper shaming, don't be a scalper. I feel like it's that easy, right? It's like it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like we said, we are scoopers, and we take it on the chin when we get things wrong, but we take it on the chin even with those angry fans that don't want to hear it. I understand that, and I understand the game, and I'm okay with that. So you can say whatever you want about us. You can say whatever you want about me, but don't sit there and cry about being called something that you absolutely are.
I just want to say I do not support scalpers, but I'm not gonna be.
You're not anti-capitalism either.
Yeah,
I understand
I'm not gonna like leave money on the table. At no point in time am I gonna leave money on the table. If the table's there, if the demand is there and I have the item, let's say I go through my closet, I find something that they no longer sell. They don't sell that anywhere. What I'm gonna charge what I paid for it? Oh, like how many years ago? $20 that I paid for it? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But the issue there is, Jezer, is that you're also not like saying, oh, don't call me a scalper. No, don't do this, don't do that. Nobody's shaming you for that. But also at the same time, even if they did, you're like, sure, whatever, I'm selling my shit. Mm-hmm. Like I understand that also. But you're not getting that straight from the distributor and then reselling it to make double the money. You know what I mean? Like, granted, if that situation was available, sure. But it's not to you. You're literally a consumer that buys a product at face value or even higher and then resells it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think, but that's in the comment section. That's what that people were shaming. People that were buying 2 figures and then selling one. That's what they're shaming. But they were like totally disregarding the whole video.
Too. And this is me just not preying on a fandom and legitimately helping the fandom out. For example, the Black Dino Thunder Chase figure, Chase from Dino Charge, sorry. Chase from Dino Charge figure that was exclusive to Target. I legitimately bought like 2 or 3 of them, and I literally gave them to Sean from one of them to Sean from Orange Ranger video for his review. So it's not like I sold it to him. It's not like I upcharged him. I legit gave it to him because it's the fandom helping the fandom, and that's the way I look at it. So anybody can say what they want about it. But I can't say I was never trying to help the fans. But I think we should move on from this because we do have some pretty cool stuff to get to as we start the show,
so
right?
I think we're gonna be closing out the show now but we have a special thing for you guys, so we're not leaving you hanging. Joe, do you want to lead us into it?
So who we got first, though?
Well, we have just the Beast Morphers cast.
Okay, so if you guys are fans of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, we ended the epic season today on Beast Morphers Season 2. What an amazing finale it was. So many highs. And Jezzer said this, and I love that he said this, that it really was a love letter to the fans. And I know Daniel loved the season as well. We got strong characterizations. We obviously wish there was a little bit more Ravi, but we did get to talk to the Beast Morphers cast to shed a little bit of light onto the past 2 seasons of them working on it. So here you go.
Well, so it's gonna, as soon as the video ends, it's gonna end. So do you guys want to say your goodbyes?
No, just follow me on Joe Illuminerdi. Check us out at the Illuminerdi. By the way, even today we're dropping Power Ranger news from those interviews. The Simon Bennett one, I'm sure we'll see a little bit later, but we get to find out about Simon Bennett's favorite season. We talked to him about what seasons you should be watching to prepare yourself for Dino Fury. We talk about team up, something that was a tradition in Power Rangers, season team ups, where the previous season would come back. We talk about that. We talk about how COVID affected the production of Power Rangers Dino Fury. We even talk about how soon they started Power Rangers Dino Fury after Beast Morphers, and any bit of advice that Chip Lynn was able to give Simon Bennett. It's all there in these interviews that are coming out on the Illuminerdi.com. Go check them out. But enjoy the cast of Beast Morphers right here.
All right, see you guys next week.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap-uP. Isa!
First of all, thank you for joining me. We are on the precipice of the finale of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, one of the best seasons, I may say. So thank each and every one of you guys for joining me. I'm a huge Power Ranger fan, and let's kick this off.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. So first question I have for you guys, were you aware with the connections of the past seasons of Power Rangers when you knew you'd be returning, that the past seasons would be ingrained into this Beast Morphers season?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't say none of us did.
Really?
I think the fans knew before we did.
Right.
I think when we got the scripts is when we knew what was happening that episode, but we never really knew anything ahead of time. Yeah, I think that's how it happened, right, guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
And just like our executive producer, Chip, he wouldn't tell us because he would want us to be excited when it happens. Right. So even like when we were building the set first, the Power Ranger sets, main unit and second unit, he wouldn't let us see. He's like, you guys can go in there and ruin the surprise because it's not done, or you guys can wait till it's fully done and you guys can, be mind blown. Same thing with this one. He didn't tell us until he was dropping like little hints here and there, but he didn't tell us until the table read, which got us the best reaction out of us.
Yeah.
That's
even like people in the crew knew not to tell us, because I feel like we'd sometimes try to get it out of hair and makeup because they would get the scripts ahead of time. Like everyone knew what was happening before we knew. Like we were the last ones to know. So we try to like dig and like try to get them to tell us like who was coming back, like what was happening in the next scripts. And they were all really good at like not saying anything until we got the scripts ourselves.
Essentially, it was like you were being a Ranger fan. How they dig into that information as well? I like that, Abraham. Yeah. Now, Rory, this question's for you. The Evox reveal shocked a lot of fans. With Power Rangers RPM being such a beloved iteration of the franchise, can you talk to me about any kind of preparation you had to do for RPM or anything like that?
Dude, literally, they didn't tell us that we were going to have any type of, homage to any type of Ranger season. But luckily, I binge watched a ton of Power Ranger seasons. RPM just so happened to be my favorite season, binge watching. So it was kind of like oh, wow, this is a real thing for me too. Like I straight up watched Scott, just do his thing as the Red Ranger. And then I just liked the season because it had a darker vibe to it as well. And I just love the ending because it was just like, wow, you know, it's just the worlds were being destroyed at this point in time. But no, I didn't have any type of, you know, knowledge of any past Ranger seasons.
Now, Jackie, this was really a love letter